first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Nibbler. I'm live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. I'm here every weekday starting at 1 p.m. going throughout the afternoon all the way to our 4 p.m. news. So just want to always get that out there. If it's your first time watching, we're here for you with a wide range of different conversations and segments, from breaking news to talking about important things that are actually happening locally. I'm talking about Bridges Middle School and the very specific and particular program and the way that the way this school is so unique, really, for what they do. And we're going to have this all explained to you by our guest here, Beven Byrnes, who is the executive director of Bridges Middle School. Let me get you pulled up there. There we go. And we're going to talk about the middle school and also something very unique that Barbie is doing. So we're going to have that for you as well. We'll save that for you here in just a minute when you'll get to find out. But to start off, Beven, thank you very much for joining us. And I think really to have this best explained, it'd be great to just know a little bit about you and about what Bridges Middle School does.
Absolutely. Well, hi, thanks so much for having me. First and foremost, I'm a mother. I've been doing that for 27 years. I'm a mother of 4, and I'm a Portland native. I've been really involved in our community, and my professional background is in educational and organizational leadership, specifically supporting students. And I would say my lifelong passion has really always been in helping students, particularly those who haven't been as represented or served, make sure that they're feeling seen, valued, and are given every opportunity to succeed. So for the last 15 years, I've been at Bridges Middle School and serving as the executive director at this incredible independent school. It's a middle school exclusively designed to serve neurodivergent learners, and we're really a one-of-a-kind program that has a special magic to it, where I get to see kids' lives transformed through our unique programmatic offerings.
Wow, so specifically designed there, as you mentioned, for the neurodivergent students. And can you give us a little bit more of an understanding of that, too, for maybe people who don't know, specifically how that works, but what that means and how it is that it's designed specifically for them?
Absolutely. I think one of the first questions I get is, what does neurodivergent mean, right? Because
Right.
people have different ideas about that. So basically what we're talking about is brains that work differently than what would typically be considered neurotypical. And that really encompasses a wide range of different abilities, and it can encompass ADHD, ADD, autism, and specific learning differences like dyslexia, dyspraxia, dysgraphia. Anxiety also is incredibly impactful on student learning. So we see all of this in the students we serve, which the neurodivergent word best encompasses at the moment, right? Language is an ever-evolving format. But however, what's really special about our school is that we get to build relationships with our kids. And what I have learned, both in 27 years of parenting and 50 years of humaning, and in our work at Bridges, is that a sense of belonging is one of the most important factors to success in an academic setting. And it's often missed in traditional settings. So at our school, we have small class sizes, 12 or less in a class. We have counselors, supports, even para-educators, 2 of whom right now are actually former alumni of our school. So really understand these students on a deep core level. We build relationships and trust and help them build self-awareness, self-confidence, and self-belief. That's when the academics can happen. And their brains are incredible and powerful. And when we get to help them see their neurodivergent abilities as a superpower, right, rather than a deficit, magic happens.
Wow, so bringing all of that together and, and thank you for explaining that too, of just what you all do with that and why that is. Why is it so important to have a school like this and a resource like this, a place for these students? And I guess how unique is this in the landscape of schooling in general?
Yeah, well, not all kids thrive in a traditional setting. I'm one
Mhm.
of those kids. I didn't. I was fortunate to get to go to an alternative setting here in Portland at MLC and transferred there when I was 8 years old. And it changed the trajectory of my life. I put my children in alternative school settings. And what I really see as the value of public school, because I'm a public school educated person who believes in public school, is that the one size model doesn't fit for everybody. And unfortunately, when you're dealing with such a huge educational system and the politics and budgeting that go into that, often what gets missed out is the individual needs of those students. So at Bridges, we're able to really individualize not just our instruction, but our groupings, how we support them social emotionally, and help them learn transferable advocacy skills that will help them beyond the walls of Bridges. In fact, most of our students go back to public school for high school education, having gained that confidence, right, and competence to succeed anywhere that they go. So that really shaped what's unique about our program is the very focus that we have on neurodivergent learners, which you cannot get. We're actually the only middle school in all of Oregon that exclusively serves neurodivergent learners. And often we end up taking students, we're actually fifth through eighth grade, because what we know is that in fourth and fifth grade is when students really start noticing the difference between them and themselves and their peers. And that's when conflict starts to come into that social emotional well-being within the classroom setting, right? So we
Yeah.
even often will have one or two fourth grade students because that's the time to catch it before the confidence loss happens, and you have more time to make up. But that's the beauty of what we get to see is once students trust and feel a sense of belonging and can build a relationship with their teachers, the learning happens.
And then I totally understand that, especially that age range too, of where all those things are happening. Well, there's something else too that's an important development. I talked about this at the beginning. I mentioned Barbie. So why am I bringing up Barbie in the middle of this? Beven, would you mind just telling us, about this new development from Mattel?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Earlier this month, Mattel released the first ever autistic Barbie. And I think what is really special about this is representation and a sense of belonging. I think it's important to note, too, that they actually worked closely in partnership with the Autistic Self Advocacy Network, which is a nonprofit organization run by and for autistic people who helped guide the development to ensure authentic representation. And that's one of the things I think they've done really well with this autistic Barbie. It offers a variety of experiences using accessories, which is very similar to how autism is so unique to each individual. There are elbow and wrist articulations that might help enable stimming or other ways of processing sensory information. There's a fidget spinner, which is often used for sensory outlet to reduce stress and improve focus. Noise canceling headphones, which you're seeing more and more represented in just general community these days that reduce sensory overload through auditory input. It also has an AAC tablet, which is an augmentative or alternative communication tablet. And this is an adaptive communication tool. It has sensory sensitive fabric that minimizes fabric to skin contact and any uncomfortable rubbing sensory sensation. So the reason I think it's so unique is because it represents inclusion in a really real and tangible way. It's not one size fits all. It's you can choose that, this, those, or none. So there's a choice in that representation. And that's the beautiful piece to me.
That is a lot of different things encompassing all to go into this, really that came into making this happen. And I think it's fascinating just all those different things that you described, because those aren't things that maybe, I would think about as being so important. And obviously it is for so many reasons.
It feels really thoughtful and
Yeah.
intentional. And I really like that.
Intentional, thoughtful and intentional, and seeing that go in. So now that there is something like this out there, how important is it to have something like this and maybe to be representative or something that other people can build off of as far as providing, be it a toy or whatever it may be, something like that for people who are neurodivergent?
I think it's really important. This isn't the first inclusive or, different type of doll that Mattel or other companies have produced. And I think what's so important about it is it sparks conversation. It normalizes differences as something to be valued, right? Not something that's divisive between us. And I think that's what I have ordered my Barbie for in my home and my school, right, is it provides opportunities to see others through a lens of compassion and ourselves reflected in different ways that feel unique to us. And it provides that conversation starter, which is something I think every classroom and every age and every home needs.
Yeah, conversation starter, an educational tool, and also something that's benefiting and helping, in so many different ways. I think it's really fascinating and really just a cool project that they have, and just how much that can really help out. And yeah, going back to even to what, just repeating what I said, what you said, conversation starter too,
Yeah.
to really bring that together. No, go ahead if you had something else. I'm sorry.
No, I think that one of the really important things takeaways from this though is that and that we can all learn from this is representation isn't a trend, right? It's essential. And whether that's in schools and toys in the homes, kids need to know that they belong. And when they feel like they belong, that's where everything can happen. And I think that's what's so special about this Barbie and the work that we do at Bridges, because it sends that message to kids, right? That you matter just as you are. Period.
Well, Beven, thank you very much for joining us. And, I want to make sure that people know, too, if they want to find out more information about Bridges and the work you do, what's the best way for them to do so?
Look us up online. Our website is bridgesms.org. We're located in the heart of the Pearl in Slabtown in Portland. So we're easy to find. We're also on Instagram as bridges.ms. And we post several times a week with lots of fun behind the scenes look at what's going on inside Bridges.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today just to talk about this and everything that you do and just how important that is. And, talking about conversations, this was a really fun one. So thank you for being here with us on Fox 12 Now.
Thanks for the opportunity to share some good news. We could all use it right now. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, 100%. And thank you, everybody, for joining us, too. This is Fox 12 Now. As I mentioned at the beginning, we live stream here out of the Fox 12 Oregon Newsroom. We cover a wide range of topics. We still have more for you here until 4 p.m. But if there's breaking news, I'll have that also. So thanks for joining us. If you're watching on our website or apps, you'll see the programming switch here for just a few, but I'll be back shortly with more. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.